I'll live. Bitch. After liberating Grynia, Marth accepted Wendell's request to find the lost orbs and headed to Ramon Temple. However, the ancient temple, built to worship Narga, was wrecked by constant warring and now has become a thieves' hideout. They're escaping with the temple's valuable treasures. We mustn't let them. Take them away. We must recover them. We mustn't attract the attention of the soldiers guarding the Kashmir Bridge. We don't stand a chance of winning, so don't approach at all costs. Also, it seems there is a traveling child dancer who's lost her way in the forests. We must rescue her before she gets ambushed by the thieves. After the troops received their orders, they surrounded Ramon Temple. The flame of a new battle was about to ignite. What the fuck? The translation text is so weird, yeah. Kanji this? I don't know what that means, I'm sorry. Time to see another really good bases, but it is later and not as stupid as Pala. Who are you talking about? Genuine question. I'm not trying to be like pedantic. Who? Are you saying Nabarl? Nabarl has really good bases? I gotta pull him up on Wifibot.
Here we go.
Is this where I pre-order Fortune's Woke?
Is this where I pre-order Fortune's Woke? Thank you for the $10 donation. Hold on. What was I doing? Oh, right, I was pulling up Oifibot, or not Oifibot, Tiana Bot, Berwick Saga reference. FE3... Oh, wait, Tiana Bot only has book 1. We do have to go to Ninian. At FE3 Navarre. Shit, he does have good bases! Damn, I forgot Navarre was like kind of low-key cracked. FE3. Yeah, he's just got like better bases than Kane, it looks like, mostly. No, that's not true, it's just his speed. Is someone named Alan? Alan moment. Let me itemize these items. Wait, we're not deploying Doga here. He has no movement. What? No movement? God, why do we get so many fucking deployment slots and no one worthwhile to use them? Alright, matches. Weapons. Damn, we got like no lances left. I gotta go lance shopping is what I gotta do. More deployment slots is always good. I mean, I'm filling them out with trash, though. Look at all this trash. Look at all this trash. She can't even use Magic Shield. Give you that. Alright, Wendell has an item now. I want to have to go shopping for lances. Preparations always take a while. Yeah, they do. The next maps are going to give some units to put away the trash. They sure are. Hi, Jenny. How are you doing? Better. Still not 100%, but you can actually hear my voice, so better. Please, help! Those thieves are going to... Why aren't you saying anything? Oh, could it be you are one of them? I understand. You can do as you please. If you must kill, then kill me. Miss, follow me. The Aretian army is approaching from the south of this forest. I take you to them. Huh? Why are you helping me? Aren't you a thief as well? I was, until now, but I've changed my mind. Why? Within the Aretian army, there is somebody I want to see. That's all. Huh? But in reality, it's because I'm cute, right? But that's all right. My name is Fina. I'm a dancer from Warren. Just seeing me dance will raise people's spirits. I'll show you as well. Oh, that's right. I was following a performing company, but I lost my way in the forests. And then I was ambushed by thieves. But this is great. Even though you look frightful, you're really a gentle guy. However, your appearance is... Your face isn't too bad, but your fashion sense is so-and-so. Also, there's that hair. Does anybody have hair like that these days? Enough. Have you finished yet? Anyway, just don't leave my side. We'll head through the passageway towards the west and make our escape. If you don't want to die, then be quiet. Yeah, I'm very sorry. What the fuck is this translation, y'all? The very first dancer in Fire Emblem. Yeah, let's start by talking about her. Fina is, pretty awesome. I didn't even pull up her stats on Oifibot because they don't matter. Fina is really good because dancers are really good. Does anyone in chat think dancers are bad? Speak now or forever hold your peace. I'll just assume everyone knows dancers are good. Cause what's better than having a really strong unit? Letting that really strong unit attack twice. Also, she can use the rapier. Early join dancer. Yeah, this is chapter 7. Like, this is very early. FE4 dancers are good. I mean, dancers are good in every Fire Emblem. She's not an FE4 dancer though. She's a one-person dancer. But honestly, I would argue that like the FE4 dancers are probably a little overgassed because of like infantry movement moment. Not to say that they're bad. Dancers are always good. Dancers were trash in my first playthrough because I didn't know what they did. You know, that's fair. I think we've all been there. I think we've all been there at some point. I think we've all been there. But Fima's really good. Also good is Navarre. I forgot how good his base stats were. He just has very good base stats and also decent growths. 50% strength growth and 50% speed growth means that he's just very offensively oriented. He's going to be dealing a lot of damage. He only has a 20% defense growth, but remember, this is FE3. 20% is actually high for defense growths. And his defense base of 8 is also reasonable. Plus, he gains 2 defense on promotion. I think Navarro is actually really good. Like, is that crazy? Am I crazy for that? 9 strength and 16 speed is cracked. Again, this is chapter 7, right? But like, it's not just his bases. This is the Seth archetype. He's got really good bases and really good growth. So like, he'll keep up. I mean, obviously not in this 0% growths playthrough. But like, you know, in general. 16 skill with the killing edge, he'll crit a lot. Yeah! Well, and he promotes to hero. And like, he'll just crit a bunch in that too. How much strength does he get on promo? Only 2. But like, you know, for our purposes, that's gonna be really good. I think Navarro is like, kind of stupidly good. What's his weapon level? His weapon level is 11. What's Mercurius's weapon level? I think, what was it, 15? FE3 Merc. That was Mercenary. Ninian FE3 Mercur. Weapon level 12. So, I mean, in 0 growths, he probably eats a manual, right? In vanilla, he just gets there because he's got like a 30% weapon growth. He seems pretty fucking good to me. He seems pretty fucking good to me. Maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm a little bit Myrmidon pilled. Except for I'm not, because I don't like Myrmidons. The only thing you complain about is this HP. HP values are generally low in Fire Emblem 3, I think. I use Augment, but Navarre is a great replacement for him should he die. I think, just looking at, like, the numbers, I feel like he's better, right? Like, he's got phenomenal growths. I guess this is what Ogma looks like in 0 growths. So maybe Ogma's better. Maybe I'm crazy. I mean, hashtag why not both, right? Hashtag why not both. Especially considering how good Hero is, in FE3. I think both is probably the answer. They're not very far off. Both of them are fine. Yeah. Ogma gets Sita support bonuses. Oh, I always forget about the specific supports. Nabarro doesn't get any supports, right? Oh, Fima has her own unique dance music. That's awesome. We want to try to get as many items as we can. I love how the Killer Sword is just called Kill in the FE3 translation. The Kill Sword. Ba-da-ba-da, ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da, ba-ba-ba-da-ba. FE3 translation, cancer obtained. Yeah, it's the, you know, everybody loves cancer joke. Is this the map with the dragon jump scare for Bantu fans? I know that this is a map where a dragon shows up in FE12. I don't know if that's in FE12 evilness or if that's in FE3, actually. I don't remember. We have Linde, if we need it. I like to kill the dragon because of the free dragon stone. Yeah, and Benutu's actually good in this as opposed to FE12. FE3 Chapter 7. Let's... no, I don't want Battle of Eagle and Lion. Scarlet Swordsman. Yeah, so you get a Firestone from him. Let's handle the thieves first, is kind of how I'm feeling. I like how FE3 handled Manikeets. They're pretty overpowered, to be honest. They're definitely cool, but I'm not sure if I like it, because they're very overpowered. Tiki's Manikeet sprite is beautiful. True. Hashtag truth bomb. GBA has the most balanced Manikeets? I disagree with that. GBA Manikeets are all very weak and unepic. And lame. Except Myrrh. Myrrh's lame because of the durability, though. What about Fates? Actually, I don't think Fire Emblem's ever really done Manikeets in a way that I enjoy. Come to think of it. Because I don't like them in Fates either. I guess the Lagoos are like the closest, like Dragon Lagoos are kind of Manakets. Fell Xenolog. Smell Xenolog, more like. Smell penis log. It's got the penis smell log. I love how this map was clearly designed for, like, Navarre to show off and be awesome in FE3, and then in FE12, the enemy stats just go through the roof so he gets fucking one-rounded. Like, classic FE12 moment. It's very funny. Dragonstone Plus is good, I swear. The cope! The cope is real! FE12 unplaytested moment. You say that as if Fire Emblem has ever been playtested on the highest difficulties. Let's just be so fucking for real. Even Engage, which, like, the early game clearly had some thought put into it, the mid and late game was not tested. I refuse to believe. Fire Emblem doesn't test the hardest difficulties, and they don't necessarily need to, because the game wasn't designed around them necessarily. I do think, like, if you're gonna put a difficulty in the game, you should probably endeavor to balance it, but, like, let's be so fucking for real. As much as, like, the Fire Emblem community, myself included, tend to be kind of like, you know, difficulty pilled or whatever, these games are designed around normal mode, right? That's what it's made for. Late game Engage Maddening was tested? Nah, because if... Oh, no. Because if it was tested, they would have done something about the fucking meteors breaking the walls and fucking up your battle forecasts. I refuse to engage with the defense of Engage's late game. It's genuinely awful. Do we have money? We have money. We need to buy some lances, is what we need to buy. We'll just buy 2 irons, that should be enough. FE12 did balance around Lunatic, but I mean, they unleashed their hater energy and removed the silver card and warp staff. Yo, but I like that! Everyone complains about that, but I genuinely like that. I think removing overpowered options for the higher difficulty is, like, genuinely good. Everyone complains because it's unfun to have fewer toys to play with. But I do think being like, no, you're not allowed to warp skip anymore, actually makes FE12's highest difficulty fun, instead of, like, the late game of FE11 is just Warp City. And, like, that's lame. It's lame to go to Warp City. Holy shit, FEMA. The meteors are badly made, but it's funny to me. It can be funny to laugh at stupid stuff like that. That's how I feel about, that's how I feel about Navarre getting just fucking destroyed on his join map in FE12. Like, it's genuinely funny. Is half off prices really that strong? Yes, Silver Card is one of the strongest items in the game, genuinely. Like, not even joking. Not even fucking joking. So in every Fire Emblem that has a Silver Card is one of the strongest items in the game. Except for, like, FE1, where money is infinite anyway. In so many games where the economy is easy, like FE7, right? One of the things that people say is like FE7's economy is really not that challenging after the early game. It's because of the silver card. If you've ever tried playing without the silver card, suddenly your cash is... I mean, it goes half as far, right? It only goes half as far. In FE12, money equals forges, and the silver card does not save you money on forges, but it does save money on purchasing stat boosters. It does save money on purchasing items that you want to get forged. Like, there's... The economy in FE12 is incredibly tight without the silver card. But if you had the silver card, you could get everything you want. Without the silver card, you have to choose what you're going to buy and what you're going to forge. So genuinely, unironically, like not joking or anything, the silver card is one of the strongest tools in the player's arsenal. Does it work on base items? It should. I know. So, I don't know if it does in FE12. I know it does in Game Boy Advance Emblem, which is why I assume it does in FE12, because I don't see a reason why they would change that. It does have to be in the inventory of the person making the purchase. I know it doesn't affect forges, though. I know that much. Alright, we gotta kill a Dorgan now. Oh, and we gotta kill this fuckface. Probably have Wendell and Linde for killing the Dorgan, right? A perfect example of how strong the silver card is Radiant Dawn. It's only around for one map, and then people work around it. Oh, right, I always forget about these reinforcements. They're kind of annoying. Turn 3 to 8. Jesus Christ. That's 5 turns of reinforcements. That's a lot. That's kind of annoying. Like, it's not gonna be hard, obviously. But it's gonna be annoying. Do we have a javelin? Move all y'all up. Turn 8 to 48 reinforcements, 6 paladins per turn. Is that an FE12 map? That sounds like an FE12 map. All reinforcements should be replaced with death squads. FE balances a tool with availability or making it a secret. Is the silver card ever secret? I feel like it's usually pretty clear how to get it. I guess you could argue, I wouldn't agree with this, but you could argue in FE3 it's a secret because you get it for keeping the clerics alive. But I believe that the dialogue says, hey, you should keep the clerics alive, you'll get a reward. And like, that's not a secret anymore. In FE8? Oh, it's a desert item in FE8, right. I forgot. Reinforcements for 40 turns is more of an engaged lunatic thing. Oh yeah. No, the late game engage archetype. Late game engage moment. It's a GBA desert item. GBA desert items are so cringe, by the way. Like, can we establish that? That should be established. Is this how fucking cringe they are? Fire Emblem should make everything overpowered and then make the enemies 3 times as powerful as you as stats. I do think that could be a fun way for, like, hack ROMs to approach things. If it's like a skill bonanza hack. Like, you make up for the stat differential with, like, skills and items and stuff. That can be fun. GBA Desert Item feels like we don't put those items in side objectives in other games, so they just go to the desert. To the sands with you! The desert. Oh my god, these guys are obnoxious. There's so many armor knights. Why are there so many fucking armor knights? FE10 added desert items to a lot more maps and then made them affected by biorhythm. The real crime is that they made it so thieves don't have a 100% chance to get them. That's the real criminal. Officer is criminal. Arrest them. What turn is it? What fucking turn are we on? Turn 6! There's 3 more turns of this shit! How bad do I actually want that Firestone? Pretty bad, probably. Benutu and Tiki are really good. I don't wanna fight these guys for 1,000,000 more turns. This reminds me of the tail end game of TOR, where enemies have plus 20 levels and are equal in equipment, but because you aren't AI, it turns into a check of your use of mechanics. What's TOR? I never heard of that Fire Emblem. It makes me think of the Old Republic, the KOTOR MMO. That I've never played, but sounded kinda bad. How many reinforcements should we add? Yes. I heard from a reliable source they're part of the late game engage archetype, a staple of the series since Happy 1. Not the late game engage archetype! No! My least favorite archetype. Next archetype's science video is gonna be on the late game engage archetype. It was an archetype before it existed. Yo, just like Ogma. Just like board and court archetype. What's Danny's opinion on engage stat creep? I don't mind the stat creep. I don't want to fight reinforcements for 100 turns. That's my issue with engage's late game. I think the stat creep is actually good. Because, you fight against the stat creep using emblem rings, right? I just don't like how long the reinforcements last for. It's honestly, it's less the engaged late game archetype and more the birthright every fucking map archetype. Every fucking birthright map has 8 million reinforcements. Stealing what rightfully belongs to us thieves? To think there could be such people in this world. You lot are monsters! Get fucked, doll. Doll, hag, and white in shambles. Murderer! Gamers out here like, what if we added even more reinforcements? How could Sirius kill? Where were you when you learned Doll was kill? I was in the kitchen, eating a Dorito. Sirius killed him seriously. Doll's kill. No. Look at all these armor knights! It's just Fire Emblem Fate's Birthright only for Game Boy Advance. We are Doll. We carry the flame. When you did FE12, did you talk at some point about the BS Arcania remake maps? Oh, the, like, downloadable content shit garbage maps from a shit garbage game? No, I've played, like, the original maps they made, and I've played the BSFE maps. They're just not good. They're just not good maps. Like, the first one is fucking huddle in a corner and slowly throw javelins at people. the map. BS stands for bullshit. I think BSFE is, like, cool in, like, that it was invented. They're interesting for historic purposes rather than actually playing. Yup, I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. Oh, Benutu doesn't start with a Firestone, does he? So if we want one for him, we need this one. God fucking damn it. Because I could just end the map here. But then we're fucked. So I have to actually fight these Chuckle Fox. They were broadcast with this Teleview, and they had voice actors and live stream stuff. Yeah, there's aspects of them that will never get back, right? No, yeah, I've played the one where you play as Garnef. That's not a BSFE map. That's FE12 original. Yeah, but that map's cool. You start playing as, like, a bunch of legions. I played it in my Zero Growths playthrough. Why the fuck is Samto here? Samto gets that question a lot. Like, what was I thinking when I deployed him? Maybe what I should have done? I think what I should have done is deployed, like, a sacrificial character in slot 12 and had them run over to bait the dragon so we could have the dragon out immediately and then kill it with Linda. These Armor Knights fucking hate Paula, by the way, for some reason. But yeah, there's actually a video on my channel, of me doing the Legion Garnef map. Pretty cool map. Pretty fun time. If I was an Armor Knight and there was someone who was like me but with twice the move and 4 points of speed, I would resent them too. The Mage hates Julian. The Armor Knights are named Benigo Montoya. Paula killed their father. She needs to prepare to die. I don't think she's prepared for shit. They're red-pilled and hate her because of the green hair and pronouns. Ooh. Sorry. I sneezed. Alan time. Those mages hate Julian because they saw what thieves would do to them in 2 games. Oh, in Thracia, yeah. In Thracia we trust. I wonder if, knives being triangle advantage against tomes... I wonder if you could convince someone that that was a Thracia reference. Like, it's not. It's not. But, like, wouldn't it be awesome if it was? An intentional Thracia reference? It's Alan. I loved his work in FE6. He's better here. He's better here. Isn't that Fates? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like, wouldn't that be funny if that was a Thracia reference? It's not, but it would be. Funny, I mean. Because knives are like the thief weapon. And thieves hard counter mages in Thracia by stealing their books. I don't know. I'm just saying. If it smells like a duck and it quacks like a duck, maybe it's a duck. They have capturing in Fate. Clearly they were inspired by Thracia in all senses, in all manner of ways. Yo, Fates is the new Thracia. That's why it's so good. It's a Path of Radiance reference, because knives fuck sages. That's too good! That's too good. .16 attack versus... Okay. This is where we do our big Resire. Alright, let's see how this goes. We still have some Kaga's turn wheels available if things go poorly. Outside of the trailer today, I'm liking Fortune's Weave being more bold with unit design. Yeah, I've like intentionally avoided everything about it. Like, I haven't even seen the various leaks of characters on Twitter and stuff. I mean, I'm not on Twitter, but you know what I mean. Kaga invented the turn wheel because it's basically heavy force saving. But yeah, I already know I'm getting Fortune's Weave. Fortune's woke! So, you know. I'll play it when it's out, and I'll be surprised by stuff, and y'all will get to see my beautiful, genuine reactions. It's insane how much better FE3 looks than Shadow Dragon. You think so? I think so too. I'm just, you know, I don't know. I don't know if everyone agrees, but I think so. The colors, yeah, it's the colors, I think. They pop off the screen beautifully. Good job, Aguma. How does it feel beating a dead horse to say that Shadow Dragon colors are bad? I mean, look, I know it's a popular sentiment, but I think the DSFE games are ugly. I think they have a lot of positive qualities, but I do think they are ugly. They look screenshotted to look 3D. Yeah, they're rough. They're rough. They are rough. Sometimes a take is cold, but like cold for a reason, right? Like, I think there's a reason so many people think the DSFE games are ugly. And if you disagree, if you don't think they're ugly, that's good for you. Like, I don't want to take that away from you. That's cool. That's cool. It's just, you know. Sometimes things are unpopular for a reason. Not that the games are unpopular. I think they've got a lot of positive qualities, just their art style is not one that I like. How much Fortune's Woke stuff have you seen? I've seen the trailers that were in Nintendo Directs. And that's it. So I didn't see today's. But I saw the first two trailers. You know, it's out in like a month and a half, right? So I figure, you know, I'll see it when I see it. I'll play it when I play it. I'm doing a midnight release, probably. Midnight stream. So, you know, we'll be here. SNES nostalgia. I don't really have nostalgia for the SNES. My only real SNES experience is playing it in my Nana's basement. But I don't really have nostalgia. I guess technically that would be nostalgia if I could fucking remember. I don't remember much of my childhood, you know, being a child of trauma, unfortunately. Just a lot of fucking repressed memories and shit. What route do you want to play? I don't even know what the routes are. It's like Dietrich. Not Edelgard. Yeah, I don't know. There's like the dancer, the empress, like the queen lady, the swordsman, and Kai. I know Kai, he's the chocobo guy. Team Theodora. Yeah, maybe I'll let my patrons vote on it, honestly. Patreon.com/Danny Doyle. That's the plug. Yeah, I'll probably let my patrons vote for it, actually. That sounds like a great idea. What if dancing was only locked to one route? That would be very funny. I can't wait for the game so we get another 7 years of Three Houses discourse. That's how it goes! Forever in the Three Houses discourse cycle. Because Fire Emblem fans are stupid. And more importantly, Fire Emblem fans, like, treat an interpretation of a fictional story as, like, a condemnation of one's real-life moral character, and yada yada yada. So, we can't have nice things. This should spawn the dragon. Fire Dragon arrived! Alright. 48 HP, Jesus fucking Christ. 20 attack. That pierces defense. Can you double? Jesus Christ. 6. I think we got a Kaga's turn wheel. Hold on. I was not prepared for this dragon. I had to heal people up. That's our first charge at Kaga's turn wheel. It's the fire dragon from FE7. He is, Way tougher than I anticipated. How bad is the RNG for level up stat increases? I'm not sure if I understand the question. Linda getting O code. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Nothing we can do about it. You level up and your stats increases. I just don't know what your question is. I'm sorry. I don't know what your question is. Okay, let's heal y'all up. Agama's portrait is nice. Yeah, yeah. What rate does the stat increase or not increase when you get level ups with 0 or 1 stat increase? Or do you get a spread of 2 or 3 stats? It's always binary. I mean, I've modified the game so I will never gain stats. But it's always binary, normally. So it's always 1 or it's always 1 or 0, normally. I thought I had a Worm Slayer. Do I not have a Worm Slayer? That's unfortunate that I don't have a Worm Slayer. That's very fucking unfortunate. Alright, let's get this dragon. Sigurd has a 10% chance to get 2 HP, but this is not Fire Emblem 4, though. This is Fire Emblem 3. Check me, liberals. I forgot how gorgeous FE3 looks as this NES game. Yo! Wendell dodged! $30? When go to... Yo, Paula dodged! Look at that! We didn't even need Aura. We get the Firestone. We send the Firestone. Okay, Nabarl, where are you? We need to send Nabarl a hero proof. We didn't need aura because Paola was already aura farming. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba-da. I remember the old patch with Navarro. Yeah, unfortunately, he's named Navarre here, so it's cringe and ruined. Alright, let's get the fuck out of here. Your Highness, we finally got rid of the thieves, but the temple has been completely wrecked by them, and there's nothing left there. Really? Even Ramon Temple has been reduced to ruins? This is a frightful age we're in. Yes, I bet even the Guardian Guard Narga is furious. It's as if we are heading towards the ruin of this world. Jagan, you know of the tales of Narga? Can you tell me what you know of them? Yes, but I only know a little. This occurred almost 1,000 years ago. Back then, there were no kingdoms in this continent, and people lived separately in small villages. And at that time, there existed frightful monsters, which would occasionally attack humans. At one stage, only around 10,000 humans remained. Mankind was nearing extinction. It was said that surviving humans prayed to the deities for help. The deities answered their wishes and sent them a gigantic warrior to the earth. That warrior held his right hand a sword of light, and his left was a shield encrusted with 5 jewels. And after many violent battles, the monsters were defeated, and the warrior returned to the heavens. That warrior was the Guardian Guard Narga, who was worshipped in this very temple. He assumed the form of a god, and became our guardian god. Your Highness, you should know that line from the first chapter of the Raman Bible. I've heard that before. The Tales of Narga? Our Highness! Our Highness! We must cross Kashmir Bridge next. If we don't hurry, the enemy will gain full control of it, and we won't be able to cross. That's true. That bridge could be very dangerous. Okay, tell all the troops that we're going to break across the Kashmir Bridge, and make sure that nobody falls behind. Jagan has a 4-digit age. I like how Jagan cites the very specific number. How do you know, Jagan? Soon after reclaiming Raman Temple, Marth was pursued by Akanea's army, headed towards Kashmir Bridge to escape. However, after easily reaching the central island, the Eridian army attacked by a new foe. Akanea's army is approaching from the north. If this continues, we'll become surrounded. There's no way to go. Can Marth and the others safely overcome this danger? Okay. Three more losers to pay. Oh right, we need Gordon, don't we? Gordo. Gordo came from his homeland of Dreamland. I miss things like Swordmaster from old patches. What do you mean? I'm not sure I understand. Isn't Swordmaster like in modern Fire Emblem? Am I missing something? I might be missing something. Sorry, I might be a little stupid. Oh, like the yeah, okay. No, I am a little stupid, you're right. Hold on. I gotta pull up the Kane, Benutu, and George. Your Highness, you're safe. Kane, you're safe as well? I had to break through enemy to get here, but they already have secured the northern bridge for now. Doesn't matter. We'll crush them. No, that's not possible. Hardin is being protected by a mysterious power. We can't touch him. Basically, if we fight him now, you can't hope to win. You should head towards the northern forts and escape by ship to Kadeen Desert. Your Highness, the mercenaries towards the south are beginning to move out. This truly isn't the time for fight. We should do what Kane says and escape into the Kadeen Desert. Afterwards, we can formulate a new plan. Really? Even though it's regrettable, that's our only choice. Troops, we will march to the northwestern fort. So Kane, the social knight, Kane. Compared to Navarre, he does feel kind of disappointing in like 9 speed archetype moment. But I think Kane's actually quite good. It comes with bases, so he's better in that regards than like your shitty early training knights. And I think the shitty early training knights are kind of hard to justify training when FE3's early game can be so punishing to underpowered squads. And like 10 attack, 10 defense in particular is nothing to shrug at. Like, he's pretty darn bulky. Obviously his growths are not great. 30% strength growth, 20% defense growth. I mean, 20% defense, again, it's good for FE3. But like, and then 9 speed is like kind of sad, but he has a 60% growth, which is something. But yeah, it's, you know, he's the unit of all time. Cavalier dismounting, obviously bad, but Cavalier in outdoor maps, obviously good. And we have a few outdoor maps coming up. Of course, one of those, or 2 of those are desert maps. So that's, you know, unfortunate. He's like the mid-game Mathis. Yeah, I guess you could say that. He's kind of like mid-game Mathis. And, you know, Mathis is cool. We like Mathis here. Mathis moments. So that's cool for him, I would say. Yeah, Mathis. Mathis is cool. No need to be rude. No. Mathis is not an insult around these parts. He's probably the best Cavalier except for Cecil, but then you get 2 Paladins. I don't think either of the Paladins... Well, okay. The Paladins that you're thinking of are Sirius and Camus. Sorry, I thought you meant Abel and Medea, and I was like, I think they're pretty bad. But you meant the ones we already have. Yeah. No, that is the thing. He is outshined by the Paladins we already have. Rip Axe Bros. But yeah, he's pretty cool. Abel and Medea are not good. Yeah, their problem is just their join time. We'll talk about them when we get to them, but their problem is mostly their join time. As it stands... Do these heroes, are they immediately aggressive? Or is that just an FE12 troll? Okay, it looks like there's a box. Okay. Cool. Cool, good to know. The killer! Take this killer and kill with it. You bellow with the highest power growth in the game? I don't think that's true. I think you're spreading misinformation. Okay, so there's the Javelin Brothers. Isn't Mathis at his best in FE3 Book 2? Arguably? Arguably? There we go. We'll buy 2 silver lances. This shop contributed the same value as 2 FE12 late joiners would have. Nah, the FE12 late joiners wouldn't make you spend money. But that is pretty cool of the shop to give me silvers. I like silvers. Julian has a higher strength growth than you, Bello. Misinformation spotted and eliminated. I'm sending the Nintendo ninjas to your house as we speak. I just watched the direct and it's different than what I expected. Read the pinned comment, please. Read the pinned comment. I don't want to have to mute anyone or ban anyone or nothing. Before I Thanos snap you to oblivion. Oops. Prince Moth, it's been a while since we met. There seems to be some commotion outside. What's going on? Ah, Benutu. I didn't expect to meet you here. How is Cheeky? That child isn't with me anymore. Gato took her back to the Ice Dragon's temple. Ice Dragon's temple? What kind of place is that? I've never heard of it. It's located in the Northern Icelands. However, no normal person can reach there. Besides the hero Henri, no human has ever visited it. Henri? Then could that place be the land of gods as described in the legends of Henri? I've said all that I can say. If you want to learn more, you'll have to ask Gato. Actually, could you listen to a request of mine? My precious fire dragon stone was stolen by thieves. If you can recover it for me, I will help you as best as I can. Thank you, Prince Moth. Unit review, Benutu. More like Benut Goat. Yeah, so I've learned my lesson since book 1. Benutu's fucking stupid busted. These stats are awful, but it doesn't matter because the Dragonstone gives him like a bajillion and all the stat numbers. And yeah, it's limited durability, but you've got enough to last basically the entire game. This is the second time you had your Dragonstone stolen by thieves. Maybe he's into it. Maybe it's like him and the thieves are in like a extremely weird kink situation where he's got like my Dragonstone getting stolen kink. Old man gaming. Yeah, so he basically becomes fucking invincible. When in Dragonstone form, he also can breathe fire and that pierces defense. He takes effective damage from like ice dragons and blizzard because there's like a Pokemon situation going on. But yeah, it's like, you know, it's cool. Don't shame him. Yo, I'm not shaming him. You don't shame him. It'd be super funny to face a fire dragon at FE5 and steal their stone to neutralize them. Yo, what if I just stole your breath? But yeah, Benutu is probably one of the best units in the game because of how rare being bulky is. You know, in the same vein as like, you know, Armor Knights getting bulk, Benutu gets bulk, but he has like good combat in addition to bulk, which is pretty cool. Seeing the FE3 review of Benutu, I will use him in FE12. I'm sure he's a good unit there. No! No, 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 no! Wait, 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 wait! No, 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 no! God, what a legendary fall off, though. What a legendary fall off. Is FE12 Benutu a worse unit in the series? Arguably. Obviously depends on your definition. There's other contenders. Oh, whoops. I just didn't look at the forecast. There's other contenders. I've seen arguments for, like, Nesala, for example. Because of the opportunity cost, right? You could argue someone like... I mean, it depends on how you're defining, like, bad units, right? I think it is hard to find a unit as bad as Benutu just on the basis of, like, being a unit. you could argue someone like, you know, Lynn or Ellie would, because they're game overs. I would disagree personally. But, you know, it all just depends on your criteria. Has anyone ever gotten a level up on them? Oh yeah, definitely. I think there's videos of it. Of, like, the new two doing work in FE12. I think, that one YouTube account with Board as the profile picture, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head. Jimmy FE. I think Jimmy FE's done a Benutu video. Jimmy FE? Yeah, Jimmy FE. I think Jimmy FE's done a Benutu video, like an FE12 Bantu video. You could probably make an argument for, like, Nil in Fell Xenologue being the worst unit, because, like, worthless and game over. I'm sure someone has argued that Orson is the worst because he leaves you, but I just disagree with that. I think Orson is like a Jagan forced to fall off. Forced to fall off before his prime. He fell off too soon. Orson's like a story thing, not even a unit. I think Orson and Merlinus being on tier lists is cool because it lets you see, like, when a unit contributes less over the entire campaign than Orson does in one chapter, right? So that's why I like ranking Orson in Sacred Stones. Merlinus can be useful. FE6 Merlinus, yeah, but, like, he's never worth a deployment slot. But on the same vein, I do think there's units that he's more helpful than, right? Like, Sophia's obviously the first one that comes to mind, but not the only one. God, these guys are tough. Rough, tough Tonka trucks. My personal worst unit in the franchise is Fiona. Most of her maps restrict cav advantages and leave her weighed down by map gimmicks and horrible bases. I got news for you. I don't even think Fiona's the worst unit in Radiant Dawn, and I don't even think it's particularly, like, close. Like, I don't even think she's the worst Bjork in Radiant Dawn. I think Lyre and Astrid are significantly worse than Fiona. I'm gonna mess this up. Nagapedia recently did video on worst character by class with Roy as the worst lord. Roy hate in Big 26 is crazy. I need to do a Roy video eventually, like a follow-up to my Worst Lords video. Considering how many comments I still get that are like, I didn't watch the video, but it's Roy. Roy's not even the worst Game Boy Advance Lord, right? Like, Lynn and Smellywood are significantly worse than him. If we... how do we want to do this? You go here. Weapon trade. Grab the silver. And then... Nabarl goes here. Live you. Roy is more useful than FE9 Ike. Finally, the masses are seeing the wisdom. I think Eliwood is the best of the Stinker Lords in contention for Worst Lord. It all depends on how much you value, like, Eliwood's early game contributions versus, like, Lynn's potential to be trained up in Lynn mode versus, like, you know, all sorts of things. In my Worst Lord video, I said that I think it's FE11 Marth, and I'm not sure I agree with that anymore. You know, my most watched video ever, but I'm not sure I agree with that anymore. Having done the DSFE playthroughs, who currently has the Dragonstone, by the way? You do, Paula. Okay. FE12 Marth versus FE11 Marth. Oh, it's no question 12 Marth is better. I think the Ike thing is insanity, but FE11 Marth and Lynn and Eliwood exist. I mean, Ike is literally just, it's the Lord that people think Roy is. Terrible combat in the early game, no utility. Gets the Ragnell for 2 chapters and gets glazed. Sigurd falls off after chapter 5. Yuck, 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 yuck. Never heard that one before. Never heard that joke before. FE12 Marth I thought was only okay. He's basically the only way, the only reasonable way to get a Medius kill. We're getting pincer attacked, yo! How do you feel about giving Eliwood points for the easy wind sword access? What? Is there a secret event in FE7 I don't know about where Eliwood gets you an, like a Sophia-esque wind sword or something? I just finished my first playthrough of Path of Radiance. I thought Ike was fine for the most part. Do you mind if I ask what difficulty were you playing on? If it was your first playthrough? Not trying to be rude, I'm just trying to get a sense of where you're coming from. But sword locked, foot locked in probably the most horse heavy. Oh fuck, we gotta do Kaga's turn wheel. Sword locked, foot locked unit with abysmal combat in probably the most horse heavy game outside of FE4. And certainly the most 1-2 range heavy game in the series outside of Birthright. We gotta get rid of y'all. Alan goes here. Heal you up. Why do people actually want to play FE? Presumably because they think it's fun. If you kill her here... That was not good. We might have to use another Kaga's turn wheel here. Kaga grant us strength. That's why we have 5 charges of Kaga's turn wheel. Boo! $25 attack. Fucking absurdity. Armor Knight is so good from the enemy team because they actually have stats. Yeah, well, and they've got silver weapons too, is the other thing. Like, every class looks good when it's just using silver weapons. Alright, we got a Silverbow Sniper here, and then George to recruit. Rev isn't a horrible game. It tried a lot of things and arguably failed at times, but it's still Fire Emblem Fates, which did a lot of things well. I mean, I think that... I don't think the core engine of Fates is enough to hold up Birthright, though. Because Birthright... it just has that fundamentally unfun loop of throw a bajillion weak reinforcements at you and make you wait all day while they crash into your super unit, right? I think Rev is a very poorly designed game. Like, in terms of the unit balance and or lack thereof. But I think that that's also something you can say about most Fire Emblems. And I think that Fates' core mechanics, like as an engine, stapled onto the enemies have insane stats. Like, that's the thing, is that they tried the 3 different routes, right? Fates' 3 routes of Birthright, Conquest, and Rev. Birthright throws a large number of very weak enemies at you. Conquest throws a decent number of enemies with bad stats, but oppressive skill combinations and formations at you. And Rev has fairly generic enemies with busted bonkers stats. And I think busted bonkers stats, like overcoming busted bonkers stats by using appropriate tactics is just, it's a core satisfying part of Fire Emblem, in my opinion. So it's not so much that the chassis of Fates is unfailable because it's that good. I do think Fates as just a engine is probably the best Fire Emblem engine. But I don't think that the engine alone is enough to carry a Fire Emblem game, right? There's other things that you need to be good. But I think that the core experience of having super powerful enemies that you need to overcome is, you know, one of those things. Would you be willing to defend Fates' story if I paid you? No. I'm not gonna lie for money. And I don't think Fates' story is good. I'm not gonna, you know, make a video saying something that I don't personally believe in. I'm not a sellout. I think Fates did some stuff very well. Reclassing in Fates is the perfect mix of letting you stuff try out and being limited. My Castle is more fun than the Monastery. Everyone compares My Castle to, like, Monastery and Somnio, but I think that they're different systems. I also think that there's aspects of the My Castle that I actually hate. Like the random meals and random drops in general for, like, forges and meals. I actually kind of hate that. But the meals, like, randomly applying to certain people is so bad, in my opinion. AS of 8, AS of 6, AS of 9, AS of 6. Is FE4 even a good story? I think it is. I think it's probably overglazed by the Fire Emblem community, but I think it's one of the better FE stories. It's just that FE stories are generally not the greatest, shall we say. FE have decent stories, the fandom is just a very hard critique. I hard disagree with that. I think FE stories in general are actually pretty bad. Not just, like, for stories in general, although I would say that, but, like, even by the standards of video game stories, they tend to be, at their peaks, they approach, like, generic filler plot, right? Like, something where it's like, oh, you know, I guess we have to have a story that, you know, this is, you know, like the FE11s of the world, right? Where it's like, it's not gonna blow your mind in any way, but it's a serviceable whatever story. A lot of FEs have good characters, but the actual story driving them is always pretty mid. Is this a, like, hidden depth in supports argument, you mean? I would agree with that about Three Houses. I would disagree with that about most FEs. Three Houses and Tellius, I think, have some good characters. Three Houses, almost all of the cast, I think, are well-written characters. Tellius, it's very hit or miss. Like, for every Jill, you've got 3 Olivers. And, like, the Radiant Dawn characters are fake characters, right? Like... But... Noah X Trek support is peak fiction. If you say so, I think that, as you experience more art, it becomes easier to... How do I want to phrase this? I think the less art you see, the easier it is for a story to be, like, mind-blowing to you. And I think as one experiences more art, right? Both in terms of thinking something is awful and abysmal, or thinking something is phenomenal and great. Like, you're just gonna, as you see a wider spectrum of art, things are going to feel less extreme in one direction or the other. Because, like, if something is bad, you've probably seen something worse, and if something is good, you've probably seen something better, right? Does that make sense? Ha 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 ha! Prince Marth, it's been a while. Hardin, why did you attack my country? Why did you do it? Even now I'm still in disbelief. Have you really changed? Your Highness, I am the Emperor of Achaea, ruler of this world. I cannot allow those who oppose me to go unpunished. And that includes you, Prince Marth. This disgusting world must be destroyed. Everything in it is a mistake. Rebels! His game is over. You will all die here. Troops charge! Slay the traitors without remorse. Why are you such a hard-on Hardin? Why are you such a hard-on Hardin? I'm worried now that that general who hasn't moved, does he drop like an angel robe or something? What game stories would you say you're a fan of? I mean, just as an example, an easy example, I have a entire video on Final Fantasy IV and its story. It's like a 4-hour long video about it. Beyond that, I'm working on an FF6 one. So, like, those are 2 easy examples that come to mind, and that, well, right now I have a video on one that can sort of point to why I think it's good. And I will have a video on the other one, right? I remember when I was 14 and I thought Bravely Default was peak fiction. Bravely Default's story is interesting because I think it is very cool all the stuff it does from a meta perspective, but as a story itself, it's also like... the story removed from the meta stuff, which, like, is unfair, because the meta stuff is a big part of it, but, like, removed from the meta stuff, Bravely Default's story is very generic. I think it's a great example of a story that can only be told in the medium of video games. And I think that's cool. Oh, he's the guy who drops the manual! Yeah, we gotta kill this guy. We gotta kill this fuckface. What do you mean by meta stuff? I don't really want to talk about it in like a random Fire Emblem chat because it is major big time spoilers. How else do we find the hidden paralogs if we don't get the manual? So fucking true. So fucking true. Can I get a hashtag true in chat? I think Final Fantasy V was not going for a story game, and that's fine. Yeah, not every game shouldn't or needs to be story focused, right? I think Dark Souls, good story, even though the story isn't the focus, right? It's very much in the background. I like the story of Dark Souls. Lore, kind of more accurate than story, if I'm being honest. Hard to sort of, you know, pinpoint the difference between them. $22 damage. How do you feel about Final Fantasy Tactics story? I think it's good. It's probably a little overglazed. Like, I saw some people saying that it's like a fucking leftist narrative, like on par with the Communist Manifesto or whatever. And like, it's hard to separate the seriousness from the memeing. I went in expecting it not to be a fucking Marxist narrative. It's a strategy game from the 90s, right? But it is funny how it's a really good story that gets kind of overblown by the fandom as to like how political it is. FFT is the most misquoted game of all time. That's what the meme is, right? That's why there's the quote generator where you make fake quotes. I think the Toby Fox game story is really great. I disagree. It didn't entice me, really. I'm sorry, Undertale fans, but I didn't like it. Mr. George, please wait a second! Huh? Gordon? Long time no see. You appear stronger, but has your archery improved? Yes, Yes, right now, I am recognized as the finest archer in Aritia. It was all thanks to you, Mr. George, that I could become this strong. So, did you come all that way so that you could duel with me? What? Of course not! This might sound silly, but can you come along with us again? Please, Mr. George! I already swore an oath to Nina, but I can't stand Hardin. He used his might to threaten their other countries and executed anybody who opposed him without question. Aconia's army right now is just a bunch of paid savages with no dignity of a knight. I will draw my bow against my own country to bring back the kingdom of Aconia of old. Gordon, I hope you can pass my thoughts on to Prince Marth. Thank you, Mr. George! Well, Mr. George, you're a good unit. You're a good unit. At this point, like a trained up Gordon or Ryan, if you're based, would probably be a little bit better. But 10 strength, 13 speed, 15 weapon level, starts with the Parthia equipped, is like good. You know, it's good. 5 points means 6 points. Yeah, snipers are useful. Obviously, he missed the most useful part of the early game for bows, where you're shooting down wyverns, but we're about to be in the desert with wyvern riders and with the 12-move wyverns, and like, bows are never gonna stop being useful. There's always gonna be flyers to shoot down, because this is FE3 and they love flyers. So, like, yeah, he's gonna be good. George really is that guy. He's kind of just sniper out of 10, and sniper out of 10 is a good place to be in Fire Emblem 3. Luck is low. Yeah, well, he shouldn't really be enemy phasing that much anyway, so that's fine. That neck, though. First time you see 12-move wyverns, you think, wait, they're not allowed to do that. This is a secret that Arcanea doesn't want you to know. They're allowed to move 12 spaces. Having the highest indoor attack range is nice for enemies. Yeah, that's good too, in that, like, you know, he's 6 move, 2 range. Well, I guess it's technically tied with fucking Doga and Sheeta for javelins, but I know what you mean, and like, yes, that's also good. He definitely skipped neck day. 7 move, oh right, 7 move. Damn, he's wildin'. He's crazy. Yeah, so he's not tied with Doga and Sheeta, because they're generals. Elites don't want you to know this, but you can have as much movement if you want. I have 20 move. The movement is stored in the neck. Alright, let's get out of here. Your Highness, please hurry. The pursuers have already arrived. But everybody is still fighting. I can't just leave them. Don't worry. They will all escape to safety. We will all meet up at Kadeen. Well, Your Highness, please get on board the ship. His only weakness is vampires? After much struggle, Marth finally escaped and arrived on Kadeen soil. He waited for the rest of his troops to catch up. The Magic City Kadeen is a sanctuary for mages. Many prospecting mages go there to undergo vigorous training. The basis of sorcery relies on sealing nature's hidden power into tomes and staves, and freely using those to harness great power. Hundreds of years ago, a sage created an academy here and taught his life's teachings to people. However, originally designed to bring happiness to people, magic was used in conflicts and was bought and sold in masses. The sage was disappointed and disappeared without a trace. Although it seems hard to believe. Some people say that sage was Archsage Gato. But right now, those who can wield tomes and staves are limited to a few high bishops. But even they can only use weak fire and live magic. Powerful magic like aura cannot be created without the power of orbs. Also, those who can wield such power magic are limited in number. This was chosen to be by the will of its creator. Magic City Kadeen, a proud and almighty sanctuary of sorcery. What the fuck? Magic was used by a guy with a horse to fight for bad guys. This translation is ridiculous. The orbs! This map's gonna be a pain in the ass. Yeah, Astrid shows up on turn 7 if he was not defeated before. I will do this later. We're done for today. Good night, gamers.